The Boston Celtics have found their hidden gem, as Brad Stevens has done it once again with the investment paying off. With a Maine Celtic who has been absolutely delivering and shattering records this season, which has left a lot of fans intrigued in his play. Well, tonight, ladies and gentlemen, he's going to get to showcase that opportunity as J.D. Davison will be featured in the Rising Stars competition. And we're going to be looking at what J.D. Davison has done to lead up to this moment for him and ultimately what we can expect from JD coming out of tonight's contest. We'll be getting into all of that and more on this episode of Celtics Digest. I'm Bruce Velez, and you guys have been absolutely fantastic showing your love and support on the channel the last couple of weeks. We do want to let you guys know that 72% of you guys who do watch these videos are not subscribed. So if you want to make sure you stay up to date on everything revolving around this Celtics team, including all the little tidbits of information just like this, make sure to hit the subscribe button so you know you are in the central place on YouTube to find that Celtics news. But without further ado, let's dive in and let's get into the news. Make sure to grab a snack, and this is going to be absolutely fun to watch tonight as we get to see a player in J.D. Davison, a guy who has been a hidden gem for this Boston Celtics team over the years, really stand out, really get polished this season, and is going to be able to showcase that skill set. As like I mentioned, tonight at 9 p.m., J.D. Davison is going to put on a show in the Rising Stars game as he is representing Team Jeremy here in this Rising Stars contest. And where you can watch it? You can watch it on TNT at 9 p.m. Eastern. I know I definitely will be doing, and to give you a little bit of a highlight of what J.D. Davison has been able to do for the Maine Celtics this year. He is already first in scoring and assists, but this man has been on a tear. He is now the leading assist spot or steal spot as well, breaking 3 Maine Celtics records, but not only doing that, but going absolutely off for this Maine Celtics team. If we want to look at JD's stats over these 15 games that he has played for the Maine Celtics, he's averaging right around 35 minutes per game, but is averaging 27 points on 46% shooting from the field, around 3% shooting from 3, and 80% from the free throw line. He averages right around 4 rebounds, 6 assists, with 1.4 steals and 1.5 blocks in these contests, which just goes to show you how dominant he has been for the Maine Celtics. And when JD was drafted by Brad Stevens, we all know he had flaws to his offensive game. He didn't realistically have a jump shot, and that was going to be the main area of concern for where he could develop into the NBA. But as we've seen JD through these last couple seasons on these two-way contracts and playing with the Maine Celtics and playing through preseason and playing through summer league, that three-point shot has developed, and it has kind of come through fruition for JD in some aspects. And I do believe that a player like J.D. Davison does deserve the opportunity to be in the NBA. And I think that tonight is going to be a great showcase for a player like JD. This is the last year that he can be on a two-way contract. So after this season, J.D. Davidson's kind of projected way to play into the NBA will go into one or two categories. It will be A, he'll be signed to his contract by the Celtics, or B, another team will have to offer him that standardized deal. And what we know with the Celtics and them being salary cap stacked and being into some luxury tax issues, it could be difficult for him to get that job on the Celtics, specifically with other guards in front of him, like Peyton Pritchard, Jrue Holiday, and Derrick White. But with the removements of Jaden Springer and an addition of a wing in Torrey Craig, J.D. Davison could potentially be that 15th roster spot late in the season, similar to what we saw the Boston Celtics do with Namish Queta, which allowed the Boston Celtics to be able to have some injury insurance just in case one of their guards go down. And we've seen Jrue deal with some injuries, and yesterday we broke a video going down on that. So if you missed that, go check that out. But like I said, JD could be one of those guys to be an extra injury insurance offensive scoring piece just in case one of those guys goes down with an injury. And he definitely deserves that 15th roster spot as well. As like I mentioned, he's having fantastic averages for the Maine Celtics, being that number one guy on their team this season, carrying the workload, dropping games with 40 points, 8 steals, 6 threes for this Maine Celtics squad. Not only doing that, but also being a fantastic player that has grown through the ranks through the years, and I do believe that he deserves that opportunity. And I want to know your thoughts down below in the comment section, how you guys feel about JD Davidson, as he has gotten some run with this Celtics team in sporadics, and I would like to see him be that final roster spot for this Boston Celtics team if they do look to sign someone going into the postseason. But with that being said, what can we realistically expect from JD tonight? Because like I mentioned, he is going to be on the Rising Stars competition. So what can we expect to see from JD if you haven't realistically been watching him play this season? Well, JD Davidson is going to bring a lot of offensive and defensive firepower. He's a pretty solid defensive guard, and he was known for that when getting drafted. Like I mentioned, he was a pretty decent inside scorer as well. The jump shot was just the main area of concern. But with JD being able to now shoot pretty solid from 3-point range, I would expect him to be one of their vocal offensive leaders and a guy that is going to be going absolutely nuclear, dropping some big points, but also finding guys for some nice dimes as well. But don't forget, just because he can get crafty, create his own shot on offense, and be able to thrive in this style of play, he's also going to be looking for his teammates finding dimes, and on the defensive side, being very aggressive, trying to get chased down blocks and trying to get steals. Because like I mentioned, he averages 1.4 steal per game and 1.1 block. So expect JD Davidson to be high flying, to be aggressive. And like I said, this is a little bit of a debut for JD Davidson. Not only is it going to be able for him to showcase his skills against some of these top tier young players that are even in the NBA, and or guys in the G League, but it's going to allow a player like JD Davidson to get that opportunity to potentially play in the All-Star game. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, the new All-Star game rules has 3 All-Star teams that were drafted, obviously by Chuck, Kenny, and Shaq, which we previously saw like last week, and now the 4th team that is going to be picked is the winner of the Rising Stars game. So for a player like JD Davidson, this could be absolutely huge. Him getting the opportunity to win a game and win the Rising Stars, but not only win the Rising Stars competition, get to showcase his skills versus players that are in the NBA, similar to the age around him, maybe even a little bit younger, that he can beat down and show that he can score on, to give other teams around the league to recognize and say, hey, this guy can be in the NBA. But not only just that, but have the ability to play against these All-Stars and potentially be able to play against guys like Jayson Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And if he can showcase what he can bring in the Rising Stars competition in the All-Star game, ladies and gentlemen, now that is going to be a crazy show. And I wish nothing but the best of luck for our guy, JD Davidson. Like I said, on the Boston Celtics, I have been saying that I think he deserves a spot on this team. He's been working hard since last year, that he definitely deserves an opportunity with this squad. And ultimately, if he doesn't find it in Boston, I hope it is with another franchise, because JD is a talented offensive player, has gone through the mud, has shown the work through the Maine Celtics, and definitely deserves the recognition that he has put on, regardless if it's in a Boston Celtics uniform or whatever team it is in the NBA. I'm wishing the best for JD in tonight's Rising Stars competition. I'm hoping he can show out for the world and let everyone know that the Celtics have that hidden gem in JD Davidson stashed in their main Celtic team. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section, how you guys ultimately feel about the Boston Celtics and JD Davidson as we gear up for the Rising Stars competition tonight at 9 p.m. Like I said, you guys have been absolutely fantastic, showing your love and support. So if you guys do enjoy the content, make sure to continue hitting that like, hitting that subscribe button. I really do appreciate it, as it does help us. And let us know your thoughts down below in the comment section. Like I said, have a great rest of your day, and go Boston Celtics. Peace out, everyone.